The Bucks, more from Giannis. How about watch the hang time on this?
With the right,
did you say
pull it back.
Oh. I mean, that is just silly. But Reggie Jackson, he put up, especially in the first half. Look, Sekou, he was active, good in the pick and roll, shots, trying to help teammates. I mean, really, it's as good as we've seen him play with this team this year.
We've always said when Reggie Jackson plays to his better demons, they're a better team. And he was playing to those good demons tonight. That's the way he plays effective, and it lifts that team when he does it.
Blake Griffin, not afraid of pain. What pain?
The step back one leg.
I mean, you gotta be kidding me. And you don't see this in the highlight, but if you go back and if you didn't see the game, like literally between play, he was keeled over, knocked down, wouldn't get up, and then you really just want to stand there and just let that happen. It's only gonna be painful. Ooh. We've talked about it, Rex. It's one thing to bounce back in the second half, but look at all these highlights, the aggressive nature, and the free throw attempts continue to get lopsided.
They're attacking the rim, putting the pressure on the officials to make calls.
And they made a lot of calls. Just ask Dwayne Casey, who has about 400 lozenges he's bringing home with him. And we love Coach Casey, and obviously congrats to him. From deep, Bled was big late. George Hill had some big minutes, but just too much Giannis. Insult to injury. They put it away. We're surprised a little bit how long really he and Blake stayed in for two totally different reasons. But finishing touches on the sweep, you talked about it, Coach, earlier, the importance of trying to close it out. They did so. How's 41 points and 9 rebounds and 3 assists do for you? On the other side, no loser tonight for Blake Griffin, who gave everything he had, and really a special and impressive performance when you think about how great he was all season and in his career. Here he is at the podium after the loss.
We get the lead, they're going for.
Blake, a couple of moments ago, Coach Casey mentioned that after the game, you gave a, quote, passionate speech to your teammates about how much you appreciated playing with them. I was wondering if you could share a little bit of that with us.
Yeah, I mean, my message to them was just that, we got a locker room full of guys this year who are genuinely happy for each other's success, and have shown that over and over. There's examples all throughout the season. The thing that sticks out to me just because it was so recent, I had to kind of pass a bunch of benchmarks to be able to convince our training staff that I could come back and play, and one of them was to participate in a full contact, one-on-one, be able to, do everything I needed to. And they asked John Lure to come in early on Thursday. Thursday was kind of like a film day, whatever. Some guys got some work in. They asked John Lure to come in early, and he did, and Isaiah Whitehead did. We played 2-on-2 for about 20-30 minutes, and then they stayed and they got shots up after that, and then they went to film, and they did whatever they had to do. And then the next 2 games, John was inactive. It's a guy 8 years in the league and been on some good teams, and is a good player, and did that and didn't bat an eye. Just did it and didn't have attitude. Did it because somebody asked him to do that, and I'm sure he felt like that was what he needed to do. And I appreciate things like that. Excuse me. That I appreciate. Teammates that are willing to, come in early on a day they don't necessarily have to, and do that. For me.
Blake, this was arguably the best season of your career, and even though this was a quick, in and out of the playoffs, are you going to be able to at least take some personal satisfaction knowing that you can still be a top player in this league?
There's always things, as a player, there's always things you want to build on. This year, I think I showed some different parts of my game, but there's still a lot of growth that I can do, and especially getting a year under my belt under Coach Casey and his staff, and kind of understanding our system a little bit better, and knowing our offense and where things will come from, and even knowing my teammates a little bit better. Now's not really the time to especially after exiting like this, it's not really a time that I sit back and reflect and feel positive. It'll be a long off season again, like last off season, which is a good thing for me, so I'll be able to get in the gym and work and come back and be ready.
Blake, after you guys scored 62 in the first half, the third quarter, there were so many fouls. I think they shot 15 free throws. How tough was it to generate any offense when you spent so much of that quarter standing at the free throw line and then taking it out after made free throws?
Yeah, that was to me, that was the story of the game. Giannis shooting 8 more free throws than our entire team is you're not going to win a game like that. And their team shooting 41, you're not going to win a game like that with them getting that many more opportunities. Some of that's on us, fouling and several times, allowing them to get and one. I did it twice, I think. So some of that's on us, but some of that's a little bit out of our control. And I think that really messed up the flow of the game for us.
Blake, at the end of the season, obviously you started feeling the injuries after being healthy for the vast majority of the season, one of the healthiest seasons you've had in several years, and it coincided with a 4-game losing streak, and then the team appeared to be not the team that we saw throughout the regular season once they made the playoffs. And I wonder if you ever think to yourself in the last couple of weeks, what if you had just been able to hang on for an extra couple of weeks without the knee injury flaring up?
No, my focus has been the team and these playoff games. What ifs doesn't really do a whole lot of good for me, and hasn't throughout my career. So I tend not to dwell on those.
Blake, can you explain just sort of what went into this injury for you, and does it affect your offseason? You talked about how last offseason was a healthy one and how big a difference that made for you. Any surgery or anything like that?
No, I don't. I like I said, I've kind of put everything into getting back and playing, and this playoff series. So it's not something I've like sat down and really mapped out. But no, I don't anticipate missing any time of working out other than just my normal time that I take off. So we'll see. Thanks, guys.
A tough night, but tough competitor tonight was Blake Griffin. Nothing to hang his head about. Neither does Coach Casey, who built and really developed such a culture in Toronto, and you could tell what he did already in 1 year with Detroit. But for the Bucks, 1 year against the Celtics versus the next, they're hoping a little bit of a change. And Giannis continues to grow. He is with Eric Bledsoe after the win.
Giannis, obviously, you've talked about bigger aspirations, bigger goals on this season, but what does it mean to win your first playoff series?
It means a lot. I've been 6 years in the league, and just to win our first playoff series with this group right here, it's unbelievable. I think we played great basketball. We stuck together the whole series. Even though when we faced adversity and they were up, they were taking leads, it wasn't playing our best. I think we were able to, just keep fighting, keep pushing as a group, and it feels good to win our first playoff series together.
Giannis, it was a physical game, a lot of fouls. You were the recipient of a lot of those fouls. Just what's the mental process as you're trying to fight through the physical toll that a game takes on you?
First of all, I'll start with, my teammates. Eric, every game of this season, he told me to set the tone, to keep playing hard, to be aggressive. So no matter if they foul me or not, I'm just trying to play through contact, try to play through the, refs, even though made no call fouls in our favor. And, that's what I've been doing all season, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. and that's what my teammates want me to do.
Giannis, can you take us through the and one where you went up to dunk on Andre or tried to, and then took the contact and made the shot?
Great pass by Sterling. I think first of all we started defensive. I think we had a great defensive possession, and then we were able to run the floor. I think Sterling had the ball. I saw him going middle, so usually I just got behind them whenever they go middle, just to give them a little bit more space because my guy comes with me. He was able to see me and give me the ball right in the paint, so I got up and I just tried to imitate Bledsoe in game 3. I got up and tried to finish with the other hand, whatever. I don't remember.
Can you give us your perspective, what your angle was on that play, and maybe where that ranks with what you've seen him do?
Like he said, game 3 came to me about my layup, the one I made in my left hand, but I had to tell him, like, bro, you understand how, athletic you've been all season at finessing at the rim. So, and that one, it was just unbelievable. It was unbelievable, man.
Eric, a lot of emotion in the building, of course. They get off to a good start, carry a lead through the half, but there's a stretch in the third quarter. It started with a technical foul on Pistons head coach, and that turned into a 17-3 run to end the quarter. It felt like you guys' foot was on the gas from that point on. Did that feel like things were changing and you guys sort of just got on a roll and never let up?
We knew we was going to get their best shot. They was trying not to get swept, and they at home, so we knew we was going to get their best shot, but we didn't. We've been doing a great job all season long at keeping our composure. Not worry about what's going on as far as the environment, and just focus on us. We know, some things ain't gonna go in our favor majority of the time. So we've been playing through it, and we did a great job of, capitalizing, on that third quarter.
Bled, I know a lot of the focus in Milwaukee is ending the playoff drought and moving on for the first time, and you've only been here for 2 of those years, but how meaningful is it for you to personally get to that second round, somewhere you haven't been in a little while?
Like Giannis said, man, it feels good not only to get there, but to get there with this group, of guys that put in a lot of work this summer and how we ended last summer. So we definitely, gonna soak all of it in and, prepare tomorrow. But, at the same time, we're gonna enjoy, this moment.
For either of you guys, you've talked a lot this season about how you have bigger goals and you don't want to get too caught up in the little victories, but this is kind of a big milestone. So what's the balance for you two between getting back to work to get ready for Boston and to celebrate tonight?
We're just going to celebrate, on the plane, on the way back. We know Bud going to come with a great game plan, so we're not worried about that. We're going to leave it up to Bud to stress over. And we're going to just, get to what we do, most of this, have fun on the plane, play a little boo-ray. Hopefully I might get in the poker game and take some of Giannis' money.
Giannis, I'm curious for you, thinking back to the start of your time with the Bucks, that first playoff series, now getting one. Just how much have things changed? And to you, is it kind of crazy to see where the franchise has come over that time?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. I remember our first playoff series, we lost from Chicago. The last game, Game 6, they beat us by 50. It was something insane. But where we were and where we are right now, it's been an unbelievable journey. I think the organization have done a great job just pushing us towards the right direction. And we're just going to keep enjoying the moment. We're going to try to stay in the moment and, as Eric said, enjoy it. And hopefully we can get better each day and achieve our goals that we've set all season. And I think one thing that we didn't talk about, we didn't congratulate the Pistons. I think they played 4 games. They played extremely hard. They played together. And I just want to congratulate them for the series.
At the end of all of that, you give Thon a big hug, make sure you run over there, you exchange jerseys with him. Kind of what has this series been like for you going up against Thon?
It's been weird. I've talked a little bit about it in the past. It's easy to go against Coach Sweeney. He's been my coach for 4 years now. but it was kind of weird going against Tan. Tan, you know, he's been always my little brother. We always work out together in the summer. You know, he's not just, you know, a teammate. It's part of my family. So, you know, the series started. We wasn't able to talk much. We didn't exchange no words, and I was happy about it because I realized that he take it really serious. You know, he's really competitive guy, and he wants to help his team win. And that's what he did the whole 4 games. But I just want always to remind him that you know I got love for him. I want him to keep getting better, and you know we're gonna stay in touch.
Giannis, you were 4 of 8 at the free throw line the first half. You come back early out of halftime. You're practicing them. Then you go 11 of 12 in the second half. Just what's that process like of kind of maybe refocusing at the line?
It's easy. It's easy. You know, when you see the free throws go in, it's easier. You know, after that, in the first half, I was just missing it. There wasn't bad miss. There was just a good shot that just did not went in. You know, as you said, I came a little bit early in the half. Shot like 10 of them, and I was able to get my rhythm and my touch back. And you know, when the game started, I just tried to shoot with confidence.
I know you guys were both pretty young in 2001, the last time the Bucks made it out of the first round, but do you have any recollection of that at all? Was that even something that you were watching or on your radar?
No, not me.
How old was I? I was 7 years old. What were you, 11? Yeah, probably. 11? The only thing I remember about it, it was the play against Philly, right? When Game 7 and the last. That's all I know about it. I gotta go watch. I gotta go back and watch the tapes.
Giannis, in Game 3, you had 14 points. Game 4, you had 41 points. I wonder how your performance in Game 3 maybe motivated you to come out for a big MVP caliber game in Game 4.
You know, obviously, I was kind of happy. You know, usually you don't play well and you don't have the best game, and things don't go your way. You kind of become, you become sad. But I was kind of happy after Game 3 because I think the team reacted the best way. You know, Bledsoe was leading, Chris was leading the second half. Like everybody came out and played hard to step up. Even though I was having like one of the worst games that I've had in lately, and we're still able to get the win. So I was happy about it. Obviously, I'm a guy that really competitive.
Oh. Giannis and the Bucks are moving on to face the Celtics. We're excited. We'll break it down on the other side.